Hello dear fans, friends and subscribers. Welcome to a very exciting cricket show, and the reason I say exciting, it's a big upset which has happened. The World Cup finalists in 2015, New Zealand has been upset by Zimbabwe today in the first one-day international of the series. As you know, New Zealand are touring Zimbabwe, and today it was the first one-day international of the series which was played, and it has created a huge upset. And considering, even though one would say that New Zealand are without their big stars, but we all know that New Zealand is such a strong team. They have lots of talent in their ranks, and it was really surprising to see that New Zealand lost this match. And also, what was creditable about the Zimbabwe victory was that definitely it was a placid pitch, no doubt about it. So runs were easy to come by, but New Zealand had raced 303 for 4, and Zimbabwe actually raced to the target in the 49th over with 1 over to spare. Zimbabwe winning the match by 7 wickets. The first one-day international, Zimbabwe taking the lead in the one-day series 1-0, and it was thanks in the main to Cragi Ervine, who was there till the end, unconquered on 130 of 108 deliveries with 18 fours and 5 sixes, and this was also Cragi Ervine's maiden one-day international century, and what a way to bring it. In fact, he smoked the 6. In fact, not to bring us, in fact, to the last ball that Ervine faced, he actually smoked the 6. But then finally the match was won with a wide being bowled with 6 runs to required, 1 run required of the last over. In fact, the New Zealand captain, I think it was Williamson, no, it was McCullum, Nathan McCullum had bowled, and Sean Williams, it was a wide delivery, and that brought the victory. But let me tell you, it was, even though there were, the good thing that Zimbabwe did is that first they had a good start from the openers, Masakadza and Shibaba. Each and every player who came there, Chigumbura contributed, Cragi Ervine contributed in a big manner, and they kept their wickets intact, and that was the key. They knew this was a pitch where they could get the runs, and I think Dave Watmore, the coach, would be very proud of his boys here, as Zimbabwe picked up a wonderful victory here as they upset the finalists of the World Cup 2015 New Zealand here by winning by 7 wickets. And also, how true, Kane Williamson, the New Zealand captain, made a statement the other day saying that he's not going to take Zimbabwe lightly, because even they have given a sort of tough fight to India in the one-day series. So and what a good observation from Kane Williamson, the New Zealand captain, and precisely that's what happened as Zimbabwe upset the apple cart of the Kiwis today, and won the first match of the one-day international series by 7 wickets to take a 1-0 lead in this one-day series. So, but first time, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to tell you, as I said, they still had a pretty, they were at the time of the 10 overs came, they still required 9 runs per over. But what was the good thing about it was that Zimbabwe had preserved their wickets, and that was the key. As this time Cragi Ervine, who definitely would have been looking at the ball like a football, because he was there in for a long time. He'd already gone to his century, and Zimbabwe required 34 runs of 18 balls. So 3 overs and 34 were required, and still probably New Zealand might have sensed they had a chance. But Cragi Ervine started it all. Matt Henry was taken, and in the 48th over he played a very good stroke, a grand stroke, I would say. He gave himself a bit of room and lofted Matt Henry, the pace bowler, over the mid-off region for a 6. And then with some excellent placement and timing, he put another 4 behind deep square leg, and the final delivery from Ervine was something which basically a fortuitous edge, one could say. But in the end, all that mattered was runs for Zimbabwe, and that was a productive over for Zimbabwe, the 48th over, and where they had taken 18 runs of the Matt Henry over. and then finally it came to 16 runs required from 12 balls. Well, initially we saw Williamson and Ervine could get only singles, 16 runs required from 12 balls. James Neesham was on the money, but then Ervine decided that they still had the 11 runs required of 8 balls, but Ervine decided that now he is not going to stay put at the crease and he is going to swing his bat, and that's what he precisely did, as he picked up a ball from the outside off stump and put it over the deep square leg for a boundary, and then followed it up with an unbelievable shot, one could say, because what he did is the ball was well outside the off stump, and Cragi Ervine went after that and pummeled it with a terrific timing, I would say, over the mid-wicket region, and the ball still travelled, and that brought the scores level, and finally it was a wide bowl by Nathan McCullum that brought an end to the match, and what a victory for Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe winning the match by 7 wickets in the first one-day international against New Zealand. Now let's have a look at the New Zealand. Let me, just telling you, because I'm more going to speak about this Zimbabwe knock. But as far as New Zealand were concerned, New Zealand were the ones who actually batted first on this particular pitch. Zimbabwe were the ones who actually won the toss, and East Sodhi, of the leg spinner from New Zealand, was making his one-day international debut today. Now for New Zealand, if you look at the card, well, as I said, it was a batting pitch, and it was a shame that the openers couldn't capitalize. It was first the wicket of Martin Guptill, who was caught by Masakadza, the bowling of Panyanga, for 11 of 17 balls with 2 fours, and then Shibaba, medium pace, picking up the wicket of Tom Latham by cutting him clean bowl for 14 of 19 deliveries, 3 fours. But then the tried and trusted pair of Kane Williamson and Ross Taylor, who have had a lot of wonderful partnership between them in all forms of cricket, and today once again that partnership came into the picture, because they took the score from a struggling 39 for 2 in the 9th over for New Zealand to 176, with Kane Williamson and Taylor playing some percentage strokes, and it was good to see. Ross Taylor initially started off in a very sedate manner, but later on really capitalized on the good on the situation that New Zealand had, and then finally this partnership went on to add 137 runs, with Williamson's contribution being 97 of 102 balls with 11 fours and 1 6 when he lost his stumps to Panyanga. But Ross Taylor was still there in the end, and he got a very good partner in Grant Elliott, as New Zealand went on to ransack almost 110 runs of the last 10 overs, as they really put the Zimbabwean bowling attack to some real pressure here, as Grant Elliott rattled off 43 runs of just 32 deliveries, with 3 fours and 1 6 being run out. And then finally, when New Zealand, with Ross Taylor getting to his 15th one-day international century, he was on an unbeaten 112 of 122 balls with 6 fours and 3 sixes. James Neesham was not out on 14 of 9 balls with 1 4, and New Zealand had raised a tally of 303 for 4. As I said, the pitch was easy, it was a placid pitch, and runs were definitely there for the taking. Now, as talking about the bowling figures, as far as the Zimbabwean bowlers went, Pofu, 10 overs, was smoked for 84 runs by the New Zealand batsman, and then Panyanga, 10 overs, was looking a bit respectable. 10 overs, no maiden, 50 runs and 2 wickets. Chamu Chibaba, 7 overs, 2 minutes, 1 for 32. I thought he bowled an excellent line there. Prospered Saya, 7 overs for 43. Creamer did a very good job, 10 overs of 48 runs with no wickets. Sean Williams bowling 4 overs for 27, and Sikandar Raza 2 overs for 15. Now, looking at the score, as I said, the pitch was placid, but still, it really required some real hard work from the Zimbabweans to get to the target. And what a start. I mean, we saw that Hamilton, Masakadza and Shibaba started off in right earnest, with Masakadza relying more on some real power pack strokes. At the other end, Chamu Chibaba was relying on some good timing and placement, and both started playing very good strokes. I mean, they started hitting boundaries either side of the wicket, and they're looking supremely confident. And the opening partnership was really going on in a fine fashion. And when the score reached 74, that was the first time that New Zealand finally struck with the first wicket, when this was Nathan McCullum bowling the ball, bowling his off spinners slower through the air, and Chamu Chibaba was, I thought, probably a bit fooled in, as the ball still managed to actually get through the bat and pad gap of Chamu Chibaba and went on to hit the timber, and Chibaba was gone, bowled by McCullum for 42 or 48 deliveries and 5-4. So that was the first wicket. The score at 74 for 1 as Cragi Ervine walked in and joined Hamilton Masakadza, who was looking pretty good at that stage, stroking the ball very fluently. And as I said, it was a lightning surface as far as the outfield was concerned. The ball was racing towards the boundary as Cragi Ervine joined in, and then started another big partnership. From 74 for 1, the score, Cragi Ervine started off in a very I would say leisurely fashion. He was having a good look, and then we also saw Cragi Ervine coming up with his strokes, and Hamilton Masakadza and Cragi Ervine really got the Zimbabwean innings moving as they started putting on a very good partnership of 120 runs for the second wicket. And finally, when things were going well and it was looking like Hamilton Masakadza would be probably marching towards his century, that was the time Nathan McCullum struck by getting Masakadza caught by Ronchi behind the wicket for 84 of 99 deliveries with 10 fours, which made the score 194 for 2, but not before a 120-run partnership was put together by these two batsmen. Cragi Ervine was joined in by Elton Chigumbura, and when Elton Chigumbura came, they still had a long way to go. 194 for 2 in the 35th over, another 15 overs were left, and they still had a lot of work to do there. But Elton Chigumbura contributed 26 runs of 31 balls with 1 4 and 1 6. In fact, he was there for 10 overs in the company of Cragi Ervine, which took the score from 194 to 260. So that was 66, and that was the phase in which I thought Cragi Ervine was really starting to play his strokes. And what they did is basically, if you look at Hamilton Masakadza, Cragi Ervine and Chigumbura, they decided to really put the New Zealand spinners attack to the real sword here, because if you see Nathan McCullum, he took 3 wickets for 62 runs of his 9 overs. He Sodhi on his debut really had got his figures absolutely rearranged. 10 overs, 1 maiden, none for 65 for him. So the spinners really came in for some severe punishment from the Zimbabwean batsmen on a very easy pitch. And finally, we saw that and then Chigumbura himself was out for 26 of 31 balls. And then finally, as I told you the story, Cragi Ervine getting to his maiden one-day international century today, and what a way to get it, as he finished on an unbeaten 130 of 108 deliveries with 11 fours and 5 sixes. Sean Williams was not out on 7 of 9 deliveries, 304 for 3. Match over. Zimbabwe winning the match by 7 wickets to take a 1-0 lead in this 3-match series. And congratulations to Zimbabwe for putting up a very good performance against the Kiwis here. And Cragi Ervine, we all know who was the man of the who would have been the man of the match. Yes, it was Cragi Ervine of New Zealand. Cragi Ervine of Zimbabwe. We know Cragi Ervine has never got a century before, and we all know he's a very good batsman. He's a very valuable contributor to Zimbabwean cricket, and today he really came up with the goods big time. Now let's have a look at the New Zealand bowlers here. Matt Henry, 9 overs, none for 58. McClenaghan, 9 overs, went for 47. Neesham, 7 overs, cost him 44. The spinners were the ones who really got some severe tap from the Zimbabwean batsmen. Nathan McCullum, 9 overs, no maiden, 362. He Sodhi, none for 65 of his 10 on his one-day international debut. Grant Elliott bowling 3 overs for 17. And Kane Williamson bowling 2 overs, no maiden, none for 10. So match over, and now the focus will be shifting on to the second one-day international between Zimbabwe and New Zealand, and that will be played on Tuesday. So for New Zealand, they would be under pressure. They have to win the second one-dayer, and if at all they lose the second one-dayer, Zimbabwe are taking the series. So Zimbabwe have really done a great job here, and Zimbabwe, I think Dave Watmore, the coach of the Zimbabwean cricket team, would be pretty proud, would be quite proud of this particular achievement that happened today. So congratulations to Zimbabwe on their very good victory over New Zealand today. Now, once more, the rain has proved a big spoil sport in the second test match between Bangladesh and South Africa, and we saw the third successive day being washed out today between Bangladesh and South Africa, and what a shame that was. With only one more day to go, tomorrow is going to be a mere formality, and whether one does not know whether rain is still going to follow them on that particular day. It's only for some records, I think, tomorrow's play would be available. Well, dear fans and subscribers, I think that really brings my cricket happenings this on a Sunday to an end. But again, congratulations to Zimbabwe. By saying congratulations to Zimbabwe, I'm ending this cricket happening show of mine today, and see you all tomorrow on my next cricket happening show. Until then, it's goodbye. Thank you.